Everything was fine until I had expectations. Okay. I never did anything for people just to say I did something for people. You know, I always just gave willingly. Never wanted anything in return. Just mutual love and respect, some type of reciprocation. I gave freely without expectations until I realized that people were like taking advantage of me. Like people were playing in my face. You know what I'm saying? I was that giving. I just gave. And I did. Because I wanted to. Because I loved the people that I was around. These are my friends. These are my family members. These are people you know what I'm saying? But people thought I was a simp. They thought I was stupid. They thought I would do anything for anybody no matter how they were treating me, because even though people were doing horrible things to me, they were lying to me, they were stealing from me, they were cheating on me, treating me like shit, I still gave them the love that I know that they needed, or so I thought. A lot of people that I came into contact with were people that never experienced unconditional love. There was always love with really extreme conditions, or there was just a total lack of love. And so, I went on this journey a long time ago to, I don't know, because, there was a point in my life where I was really kind of, I really can be the type of person that I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I can really be that person. I have been that person. I used to be mean to people. I used to be kind of nasty to people when I wanted to be. I wasn't always nasty to people. I didn't walk around like that. But because of my experiences in life, because of the way I felt like I had to protect myself, because of the things that I went through, I learned how to be nasty to people so that they knew not to fuck with me. But then there was a reputation that followed that. I used to get into some fights with people when I was an adult. There was always some kind of drama going on, kind of confrontational kind of things like that. And I got to a point where I was tired of it all. I was tired of drama. I didn't want to fight with people anymore. So I spoke to God. This is at the very beginning of like my awakening, my big awakening. It didn't happen overnight. It took some years, but I remember when it started, because I was tired of people treating me like shit, right? And then so, I'm the first person, and people will tell you, especially back then when I was drinking a lot, really kind of quick to snap. Well, not quick to snap, but when people pushed me, like when I just kind of bubbled over and bottleneck, I like to call it bottlenecking, just kind of exploding out of the top of a bottle. I would be the first person to slap I would hit somebody, slap somebody, get in somebody, like I would be ready for it. If I had to catch a fade for it, I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? But then I talked to God and I prayed, because something in my heart was telling me like there was some type of change that needed to occur. Okay. And so God told me that I needed to be more like Jesus Christ. And turn the other cheek. Right? And I'll never ever forget, because my best friend at the time, I told her, I said, listen, I prayed to God, and I'm going to tell you what I heard. And I said, God said I need to turn the other cheek. And she looked at me and she was like, you turn the other cheek? She was like, are you sure about that? Like, you could do that? Because she was like, you don't play that. Like, you're real quick to pop off and snap out. And I said, no, I'm just going to, let's try. I'm going to try it, because a lot of the people that I was encountering, that's all they ever knew. You know what I'm saying? And that was evident in how I saw them interact with others and how they were interacting with me. And so when you came to my house, and anybody will tell you this as well, Anytime you came to my house was a safe place for people to be who they wanted to be, speak what was on their heart, feel comfortable. Wasn't nobody going to be trying to steal from you in there. Wasn't nobody going to be trying to fight you. My house was your house. Whatever I had in my fridge, you could have. Whatever was in my closet, you could wear. If I had money in my pocket and you needed it, it was yours. If I had some drink or drugs, it was yours. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to facilitate that because I like to see people comfortable. I like to see people happy. I like to see people at peace and just being themselves. And so I did that. There were times that people stole from me. There were times that people charged me up. And I totally was like, you know what? I'm not even finna do this. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna rationalize with you. I'm gonna reason with you, right? And I took on that mindset for a very, very long time. And I still do have that. I still do. But back then I was being obedient. Like literally. I'm telling y'all, I don't think that people, well, some of y'all out there understand. When you get to a point where you done been through bullying, you done been through abuse, you done been through people just fucking with you all the time, you get tired of it. Basically what I'm telling you is that I understood where people were coming from because I was there. I maybe didn't grow up like them. I didn't grow up in a hateful household. I wasn't like being abused by parents and stuff like that. A lot of people that I came into contact with did, though. They came from very kind of broken homes and broken communities and broken mindsets. But I understood what it was like for them to not feel love. And so I never wanted anybody to have an absence of love. And so, like, whether I was their friend, family member, whether it was a business dealing, you feel me? People came to my house and they enjoyed being in my presence because I was just a cool person to be around. We talked about things. There was always some type of growth that occurred. It was an establishment of community. But then it became apparent to me that I was giving way too much to people. I was giving way too much. I was willing to sacrifice things for people. If people didn't have certain things and I didn't really have it, I was giving it to them because I didn't want to see people go without. People, I was just there. A lot of you all out there understand what that is. And I'm not one of those people that do shit for people and talk about it. Throw it back in people's faces or go around town talking about it. I'm not one of those people. And so anyway, it got to a point to where I realized, like, people are taking advantage of you. People think that you're stupid. People think that they can play in your face. They can treat you any kind of way and they can still receive this unconditional love, this unconditional self-sacrifice that you were doing, which I do not suggest that people do. Never self-sacrifice for anybody at all. I learned that the older I got. I really did. I learned that very clearly. I will never self-sacrifice for anybody else again. That's pretty much sacrificing yourself, which is something we're not supposed to do. Self-preservation should be the first priority by any means necessary, as long as it's not hurting anybody else, as long as you're not intentionally hurting anybody else. Confirmation, bitch. Self-sacrifice is not okay. Self-preservation is the way to go, because that's where everybody else pretty much is. We don't live in a world where people are selfless like that, where people appreciate that. We don't live in a world like that. We really don't. People look for selfless people to be selfless so that they can be selfish. You feel me? So I realized all these different things. I took a look at all my relationships with people. I looked at the situation. I looked at the things that were happening to me, how people were reacting to that, how they weren't there for me, or how they played a part in certain things, yet I was still I said, oh, hell no. This shit coming to a close. I'm not going to be laid back no more. People can't just come up in my crib and act any kind of way they want to. They can't be comfortable like they used to be. I'm not going to help out people like I used to, and if I am, I want my shit back. If I give you some money, if I loan you something, if I go out of my way to help you, I want something back in return. That's called reciprocation. That's not being selfish. But the moment that I put my foot down, that's when all the shit started. When I stopped being this agreeable person that would go along with anything, allowing people to treat me any kind of way, That is when the problem started. That's when I became the narcissist. That's when I became selfish. That's when I became evil, abusive. That's when I became manipulative. That's when I became fake and phony and all these other horrible things, because I decided for myself that I wasn't going to let people treat me any kind of way and use me. True facts. True facts. I said, no, I'm not doing that no more. And that's why, I know that a lot of people have said a lot of different things about me. I know the rhetoric. I know the narrative. I know the lies. And even though I know what people be saying about me, and people have gone on and lied and said this and said that, that's why I don't defend a motherfucking thing, because I know these people and they know that I know them. See, the thing about it is they know people don't know me. So they can go around saying everything that they want to. That's why I don't defend anything. I don't have to defend myself against bullshit. I don't have to defend myself against lies. You know what I'm saying? I know why these people are doing the things that they're doing, because they're the narcissists. They're the liars. They're the manipulative ones. They're the abusive ones. These are the selfish people that I fully supported and love with all my heart. You know what I'm saying? People will go around and tell all kind of lies about you, create narratives about you, have people believe in all these different things about you. And you know what I didn't do? I never once went around and badmouthed any of these people. I never did it. I never did it. The shit that I know about these people that talked about me, man, I could write a dozen books about it. Literally. I could take each and every last one of these people that I know that were playing in my face, that did all this shit talking, that threw me under the bus, false allegations, tried to set me up for failure, tried to set me up to take my life, all these different kind of things. Each and every last one of those people, and I'm not talking about 6 to 8 people, I'm talking about 10 to 12 to 15 or more. I could write a book about each and every last one of those people, and it's some salacious shit. See, if I write a book and people read it, they're going to know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. And then everybody's going to be looking at them sideways. And that's not what I'm about. I'm not about creating that kind of drama. I'm not about creating that kind of environment like they tried to do to me. You feel me? I'm talking about this right now because I want people to understand the importance of understanding your place in this whole thing we got going on called life. The biggest challenge is, what I've learned, is how do you handle the attacks? How do you perceive them? What do you really believe about them? I've come to learn that these attacks, the narratives, the rhetoric, the false allegations, the threats, the gang stalking, the noise campaigns, all of these things are done to get you to react to their bullshit, to get you sucked into that bullshit so that you can react, so that you can stoop to their level, so that you show people exactly what they said about you, that you're petty, that you're narcissistic, that you're evil, that you don't really care about people, that you're just ready to destroy people. That's what they truly want. I'm here to tell you, that ain't the way to go. Imagine what my life would look like right now if I blasted every single last person that lied about me, that threw me under the bus, or hell, even told my secrets, things that were personal to me. Because let's face it, everything everybody says about us isn't always a lie. People absolutely will tell your business, things that you told them in confidence, but you never did it to them. But imagine what my life would look like right now if I did that to all those people. It would be full of drama. It would be nothing but drama. I wouldn't have a moment's rest. And I don't live for that. You see what I'm saying? I'm no longer willing to self-sacrifice myself for their drama, their narratives, their lies, their rhetoric. I'm not feeding it. A lot of who these people are, not gonna front, comes out in these readings. Oh yeah, it does. Oh yeah, it does, buddy. But only they know who I'm talking about in these readings when it comes out. Only they know their energy, and I know their energy too. So that backs them the fuck up. Because then they know that I know. Well, I always knew, but I just couldn't prove it, and I still don't need physical evidence and proof to figure out the plots, the plans, the schemes, the strategies of these motherfuckers. But they know that I know. But they also know now too that I'm not willing to self-sacrifice myself for their bullshit. They're on their own. While they're still all sitting around talking this and saying that, don't nobody believe that shit no more. And people that believe it, they believe it because they want to believe it. Or because they don't know me. And I'm giving this testimony because I am you and you are me. A lot of us are the same. We're all going through the same kind of shit. It's evident in the chat. It's evident in the comments. It's evident from videos and the testimony. We've either all gone through it, are going through it now, or you fucking will. And hopefully you find this message so that you can better navigate yourself through it. Before it even happens. You can catch it right then and there. Cut it off. Don't even participate. Cut these selfish ass people off. If you're around people right now and all they do is take from you and treat you any kind of way, they're never going to change. Your love will never change these people. Your love will never change it because these people don't believe in love. They don't believe in real love. They don't believe that they can be loved unconditionally. See, it's not your fault. It's their fault. Or their mammy or their pappy's fault or their family's fault. They're grown now, so they should be accountable. So yeah, it is their fault too. These people were never treated with the amount of love that they should have been for them to even feel worthy enough to receive love from people like me or for people like you. The moment that you cut these people off, they're going to talk all kind of shit about you. The moment that you're no longer their idiot, their dummy, their simp, the moment that they can't finesse you anymore, when you weren't even being finessed, you were just being nice. You just were loving these people. See, they didn't see it like that because all they were brought up to do was finesse people, to lie to people, to treat people as commodities, to treat people like resources instead of assets. That's all they were ever taught. To hustle people, to get what you can get out of people and keep it moving. As long as somebody's willing to give you everything they got, you take it without giving them anything back. And a lot of people that we know were raised like that. That's all they know. But you and I know better than that. And maybe you and I weren't even told that as a kid. You know, a lot of us come from environments where we grew up with love, but we were sheltered. Or things just weren't explained to us about abusive relationships, people using us, things like that. These were things that I was really kind of never taught. No diss, no shade to my mother, but it just with things that I just never had a conversation with her about people will use you. People will take everything from you and not give you anything back. These were things that we just learned growing up, going into adulthood, from teenage years, going into adulthood. Hell, a lot of us learned that we're treated like this as children. And it was never explained to us like it's being explained, like I'm explaining it to you now. But a lot of these people from the time that they were kids were taught to hustle people, were taught to lie to people, were taught to steal from people. We're taught that if you get a man or you get a woman that comes into your life, you better get what you can get from them because they're never going to love you. People are shitty. This is what people were taught. And a lot of us come into contact with people who still have that ingrained in their head. And it's not our job to teach or show anybody else that that's not the way to be. Now they could follow by the example that we set, but a lot of people that we've come into contact with, they just don't get it. Because they don't understand the fact that if they truly want unconditional love, they have to give it. And then once they give it, they have to be ready to receive it. But a lot of people that we've come into contact with, our lovers, our friends, family members, whatever the fucking case may be, these people, they don't feel worthy enough to be loved. So then when we come along and we give it to them, they like it at first, but then they go, wait a minute, I'm not worthy enough for this. They gotta be lying. They gotta be lying because they want me to do this or they want me to do that. Or they just think that I'm stupid. And so what do? They flip that around on us and they play us. They lie to us. They do all these things because they don't believe. They project. It's a projection. They don't believe that they're worthy enough for love. I was once dating somebody whom I was really, really in love with. Like seriously, did anything for her. And they told me, like, I don't believe love is real. You don't love me. I don't believe you. And I was perplexed. Like, what the fuck you mean? I don't tell people I love them if I don't mean it. It took a long time for them to understand that I truly loved them. But by that point, they still didn't want to believe that. I bet you they believe that shit now, though. With what they probably going through. Or the people that they've encountered. And sometimes that's why we come into people's lives, to show them, so that when we exit, they can understand that was real love. Not so they can pine after us and chase after us for the rest of our lives. So that maybe the next person that they come into contact with, they will understand what love is and how to treat some damn body. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we should want for them. That's truly what we should want for people that have hurt us. Now, there's a limit, because we human now. We are human now. Okay? We're human. So we got feelings. And sometimes the shit that people do to us, I don't give a fuck if they ever get love again. But that's not my call. That's just my feelings about it. You know? But overall, we should really just want to be people that, no matter if it didn't work out as friends, family, lovers, we should want that. We should want people to achieve that level of love that we want as well. Wish them well. See you later. Want the best for you. Because who you are will show up to the world, period. You just continue to keep showing up. Don't participate in the drama. Don't have to constantly defend yourself. You don't have to say, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not a bad person, I'm not this, I'm not that. Let the universe handle it. You just show up in your energy. You continue to work on who you are. Build on your dreams. Build on your aspirations. Just build on yourself. It doesn't have to be some type of grand spectacle for everybody to watch. Just continue to keep growing and be the best version of yourself. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not saying that life will not have struggles. Life will not have their ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. Not saying that you got to be the model citizen, but you got to be the model person for you. So yes, you will be called all kinds of names. People will say all kind of bad things about you. People will make up all kind of bad things about you. The moment that you put your foot down and you decide that you're going to stand up for yourself and be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I came to share with you before I turn it in for the evening. Well, it's 5:37 p.m. I'm not about to go to sleep. But I'm done for the day recording videos, okay? Let's get an oracle card out here, and then that'll be it. I hope this message absolutely helps somebody this evening. Make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe, comment in the chat, comment down below. I'm going to be pulling from the Sacred Vibrations Oracle made by Sassy Lux 3333. Thank you very much for these cards, family. All right. I'm your Uncle 79, the Spiritual Savage. Check out my store, divineintermissions.myshopify.com, where everything is 10% off store-wide until June 20th, 11:59 p.m. All right. See what else we got. Give me an oracle card, please, for the collective so we can close out this message here. Thank you, Spirit. Wow. I am thankful for the signs I receive each day. It's so funny because I just was talking about this in my last upload. You could be seeing all these numbers. I don't know, 111, 12, 12, 222, 313, 311, 1010, 111, 333. You could be seeing number patterns. The universe is trying to tell you something. You're probably in the middle of awakening, or you're about to go through another awakening, or there's a message for you. Sit in a quiet place, go within, hear those downloads, see what the ancestors or your higher self or the Most High God or your spirit team are trying to communicate with you. Okay, there are a lot of different ways to communicate with spirit. Meditation is a good way to do it. A lot of us out here have a hard time meditating. Don't let nobody make you feel bad if you don't know how to meditate. But when you're laying in bed and your TV's on, what I like to do, I'll turn my TV off and I'll lay there and I'll just breathe and I'll just hear what's going on in my mind, receive the downloads. You could always journal. If you're seeing these numbers, try to figure out what they are. You could also look up any angel number that you're seeing. It doesn't always have to be a 3333 or 111. Maybe you're seeing the number 407 all the damn time. Look it up. Maybe there's a message there for you. Or maybe the universe is just trying to get you to go within so that they can communicate, so that the universe can communicate with you, or your spirit team can communicate with you. Something is there, okay? There's something about these angel numbers, though. You're seeing some synchronicities or a number all the time. Go within. All right? So that is the end of this message. I hope this message really helps somebody this evening. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their evening, and I hope that this message absolutely does help you, okay? I'm your Uncle 79, the Spiritual Savage. Remember, you grow, I grow, I grow, you grow, we grow together. It's always living light around this bitch. It's always take it easy. I love you. To the moon and back, all right? Deuces.